right, it's time to wrap with Patrick Reusse. And Patrick, what is on your mind today?
Mitch Albom had a pretty good column with Harbaugh. Did you see that?
I did.
When did that run? This morning or yesterday or when?
Couldn't tell.
But it's what was interesting is Harbaugh didn't get out of town after the interview because of the snow in Detroit. I guess he couldn't fly to Detroit, so he spent the night in a hotel room here and calling up Wednesday night, calling up people and making amends, I guess. So,
yeah.
and
I almost left, but I didn't, so sorry about that.
And the bottom line, the whole thing is him basically saying, they didn't want me as bad as I wanted them, right?
Yes.
That's the way it sounds. So he did not get the feeling that I think the whole thing was that he thought he was coming in to be named the coach, and they thought he was coming in to plead for the job. So I guess that's, I don't think we will ever know how this came about, though. Do you?
Not totally.
Everybody, we will get many different versions, but
yes.
We won't know which one is accurate.
Agreed.
He does not have an official agent. Harbaugh. He's sounds like Brian Harlan. Remember, Brian might handle the stuff for him. He handles it for his brother, but he does not have the Trace Armstrong. You're not paying me enough money. He hasn't sold his soul completely to an agent. So I still don't buy the fact that the Vikings contacted him originally, but anyway, it's the ship has sailed and we now have this tall young man. He will be easy to see on the sidelines. He's 6'5", this guy, right?
Yes. He'll be that collaborative and probably friendly.
It looks like he'll be a very friendly guy who doesn't say anything. Would be my
guess.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get a lot of transparency.
He's Rocco. He'll be Rocco, but maybe not as bad as Rocco. Maybe not as bad as Rocco. But we'll find out. So, and we have no idea if he's the right one or not. Every year we hire 8 new ones, and a couple of them turn out to be the right guy, right?
Yes.
So everyone now guessing as to how this one's going to turn out. It's just throwing darts.
Yes. And we have no clue what these two now, Kwesi included, are going to do. We have no clue. Do you like the quarterback? Are you going to change the quarterback? Are you going to juggle the entire roster? Right now, we don't know anything about what they're doing.
Well, somehow we're kind of using, he was in Washington when Cousins was there for a year, but was he in on the I wouldn't pay this guy, conversation, or was he in on Cousins? He'll say he was in on Cousins, but we don't know he wasn't old enough then to have any influence, really, was he? What was he? I guess he was the quarterback coach.
Yeah, he was Kirk's position coach, and Kirk statistically did not have a great year.
Yeah.
Kirk was okay, but not great.
But I think Kirk felt the vibe that, by then they had made it clear they weren't going to buy it and they weren't going to pay him, right?
Right.
I mean, he was on the way out. So it was probably a strange vibe year there for both the quarterback and the young quarterback coach. So it was, and I did see also the thing that Mensa and I think Mitch Story said Mensa and Harbaugh were friends. Really? He was
everyone's saying that. Yeah,
I still don't buy that.
No, everyone is saying that, but it's hilarious. I still want to know how they got to be friends when
guy was there a year and a half. Guy was a year and a half as a glorified intern in the research department. But who knows? Harbaugh is such a wacky character that maybe he walked in there and said, "Hey, who's this guy?" And they started talking, and who knows, But the ship has sailed, and now we all have to hope the Rams win the Super Bowl. So it looks good, but there's nothing better in NFL young assistant coaches in the NFL. They got to be sending. Sean McVay must have a stack of applications a foot high on his desk, right?
Oh God!
If you can attach yourself to Sean McVay, you can get a job in the NFL.
It's incredible.
It is. I mean, it's it's the way to do it. And everybody wants the next McVay. Ever since he went to the Super Bowl was that his first year or second?
I think it was his second year, right? And I think it was it was the 18 Super Bowl, because then Zach Taylor got the Cincinnati job the next season, I believe.
The Rams going for only their second ever championship, NFL championship in LA. That's what we don't realize here, that in their home turf, they can win their first NFL title in LA as the Rams in 71 years, 1951 season. So 70 seasons later, because the championship game back in 1951 was held in December. So 70 years since the Rams won a Super Bowl in LA.
And
I mean an NFL championship, not a Super Bowl.
And Pat, I think the Rams being based there have only gone to the Super Bowl twice now.
Well,
Ferragamo
time, and then once before Vince Ferragamo. Yeah.
So
after defeating the Bucks, I believe.
Yes.
In the worst championship game ever.
Awful game.
9-3 or something.
And how the Bucks made that championship game after being so horse bleep a few years before, I will still never really fully comprehend.
That was
God.
They were terrible, but they had there's the all-time coaching hire right there, John McKay. He was there to play golf and take Hugh Culver, and he was also like the player. He also was in charge of personnel. He wouldn't have known who was being drafted. He had to have some right-hand man who did all the work, because he was smoking cigars and playing golf every day. What a beauty he was.
Great college coach, though, right?
Oh, he was.
Trojans, he was fantastic.
Get me the best running back in the world.
Yeah.
Each year, and we'll pitch it back to him and run it 60 times, So that was, he was a great college coach, but what a beauty. I was around him just twice, but it was hilarious. Come on in and meet the fellas. It's still one of my greatest. After they come up here and embarrass themselves, and there's 20 people crowded in a hallway that's as big as Judd's studio there, Declan, and we're all sitting there talking to him, and somebody opens the door behind him, and there's a little storage room there. He opened the door, and he hasn't lit the cigar yet, but he's got the 12-foot cigar going, and the guy kind of, I can't remember who the equipment guy was. He sneaks out and goes by him, and he says, "Who built this bleeping place?" And that's what he was. That's what he said. I said this. I've told this story 100 times, but that's what McKay said. But that's enough questions for me. You want to talk to the fellas. You don't want to talk to me. You want to talk to the fellas. And come on in and meet the fellas.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was unbelievable. He was Zim. He wouldn't work in 2022.
The execution line is still one of the greatest lines of all time.
What do you think of your team's execution? I'm in favor
of.
Also, famously, like his first TV show in Tampa, some guy, the John McKay show, and some guy asked him, the host asked him a question that right off the bat that was kind of inside team question, and McKay paused and said, whatever his name is, "Bill, this is the John McKay show. John McKay tells you what he wants to tell you." Basically, he stopped and said, you're not asking me questions. I'm telling people what I want them to hear, And my boss when Lowell Schrader was the sports editor, I was a sports columnist at Long Beach, and then he came into St. Paul in the early 80s and was the sports editor for a couple of years. He and McKay were like that. He and McKay were tight.
Really?
Yeah, I loved McKay because Southern Cal, and it started with McKay, practice, media, LA in that competitive market. the sports writers would just go out and stand on the field, watch practice, the whole thing, welcome in. Some guy walked off the field and between plays, some kid you wanted to talk to him, you just started interviewing him. And the fans wanted to come, they could come and stand on the sideline too, watch their practice at the practice field next to the Coliseum. They had open door policy, which continued through Carroll at least.
I remember Carroll had a lot of celebrities and
people hanging around. Yeah, right. And the access was always, Southern Cal was just incredible. The access you could get there is just amazing. Something will. In fact, I had a conversation with my friend Mark Wicker, who's has retired a week before the Super Bowl in LA, not by coincidence, but the guy's one of the all-time greats. He's not 70 yet, I don't think, but talking to him, the whole Zoom, the lack of access, just has driven him nuts. It's no fun for him anymore.
I buy that.
The fact you can't talk to anybody, and because he was always a personality,
right.
Working a story hard and talking to very different people and coming up with different angles, and it's driven him out. So, we'll see if somebody takes advantage of his greatness and gets him to write once a month or something in a magazine.
But he's not wrong.
No, he's not. It's not. It's different. That's just between you guys here and the people who are listening. The advantage, the fact that we have 3 other columnists and are now very devoted, in a large part devoted to major stuff.
Yep.
Means I can write a column about anything I want to and go talk to the person because it's because there's no demand for talking to these people. So that makes life more tolerable, in my opinion. Congratulations to Mitch getting Harbaugh and still having enough clout over there in Detroit to get Harbaugh on the phone. I'm sure anybody else calling him might have got hung up on yesterday.
Yes. How about them Wolfies?
They're I don't know. I'm glad to see Cat going to the All-Star game. Everybody knew he was going, but he has played the best he's ever played for him this year, in my opinion. He was great when he was a kid, young, but it is interesting because did we not all think that by the All-Star break, he would be demanding a trade this year because his heart wasn't in it and blah, blah. He's playing hard and he's playing better than he's ever played. And he seems to be more invested in this team than he's ever been. Mm-hmm. And that it surprised me, but he's been really good. He's been pounding the boards lately, 14, 15 a game. He's been terrific. And, D'Angelo still not playing, and they've probably decided that's, you watch D'Angelo on the sideline, man. He's relentless. He's the most enthused guy you ever saw.
That's like
he's using up more energy.
Yep.
And how come we can't get him on the court? Let's go. Come on. Tweaked an ankle, and he's 6 games now?
Yeah, it's around 5 or 6. Yeah.
But who needs him? What's interesting is the way this guy plays his backup point guards too. Some nights he's got Noel now he's not necessarily a point guard, but he fills that thing. But some nights he's playing 20 minutes, and now all of a sudden this McLaughlin comes in and he's playing some. He plays matchups with the main guys play, but then he plays matchups kind of interesting. I'll tell you what though, Jared Vanderbilt, NBA's most improved player. Why not? It's year 4. The guy's unbelievable.
Might be the best bargain too in the NBA, Pat. I think he's only making like $3 million for the next 2 seasons. It's the best in terms of the salary cap in the NBA. You're not going to find a better bang for your buck.
I think that was about Gerson's last act was to bring him back, right?
NBA Executive of the Year, Gerson Rosas.
Well, I don't know. With Wiggy starting the All-Star game and
He got voted in.
Wiggy in the All-Star game, and our boys, and then the kid they had to give up to get rid of him. The number one draft choice looks like he's going to be a player too. So yeah, I don't know that. We were all happy to get rid of Wiggy, and Wiggy was happy to get rid of us. So it's worked out for everybody. But that detracts in the big picture from his.
We got to find Gerson. Where is he? Find him and just give him the damn award.
Yep. Well,
Pat,
he's probably still in town. Don't you think?
Probably is. He probably is hanging out. He probably is.
Now that would be a story.
Yeah, if somebody gets that story, they're pretty good.
Pat, there's a bunch of Wild games coming up in February here after this All-Star break. Is Mr. Puck going to be making his trip to the XL Energy Center to see a game?
It is amazing how few home games they've played, isn't it? I mean,
February, don't need the home games, Pat.
They still hardly had. They don't have that many coming up in February either, right? But March is every. How are they going to play all those March games when we have the state tournament?
I know. I have no idea.
Who cares where those games are played? We are such a juggernaut right now.
God.
You could play them on the moon, and we're going to get all the points.
The Blackhawks are. It was like Edina playing Fulda in hockey. It was.
Yeah.
It was like Heron Lake Okabeta Fulda versus the Edina Hornets. Watching it was. We got 5. That's enough. We could get a couple more, but why embarrass these poor stiffs? It was worse than U.S. Honduras. We beat them worse than the U.S. beat the poor frozen Hondurans.
Poor guys had what? Two guys that Dex told me had
the goaltender had to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
A couple guys went to the hospital.
Yeah, hypothermia.
Good God.
Yeah. Anyway, but the Wild are unbelievable. Well, they 9 games, 1 tie, right? One overtime loss, right?
9-0-1. So 10 game point streak.
10 games. So it's 9-0-1.
They haven't lost since the Winter Classic. Yeah,
they're a machine. We haven't even had to pull the goalie lately to tie it with 3 minutes to go, right? Which I hope we don't get rusty because of all these slaughters from our pull the goalie deal, because that's magic, man. The whole pull the goalie.
You can't stop us, Pat. It's that simple. You just can't stop this damn team.
Well, I agree with you. It's amazing. And surprise greatness. Where does it rank?
Surprise greatness is probably second to just complete shock of a team you don't expect much from.
Surprise excellence, probably.
Because we thought
the Twins weren't that excellent in '87. They just happened to win the World Series.
Right.
But, I'm trying to think of a team that came out of nowhere and was outstanding here. You maybe have to go back to Clem's Sweet 16 team in 1990 or 89, 90 after being just horrible. But this team it's amazing how good they are. And there was no expectation of this. Was there?
I think they were expected to be good. They weren't expected to be.
They were still expected to be the same old. Boy, I think we can make the playoffs. The same old. I think we can make.
No, they were supposed to make the playoffs. No, they were supposed to, but not be this good. Like they far exceeded what we thought. I think they were a playoff team going in, but not. I mean,
you thought they were a playoff team, but it was not
this.
Not we know we're in the playoffs and where are we going to finish? Yep. And, it was.
Hey, when are we going to stop acting like baseball might start on time? Like, I know spring training now is but we're still. I mean, they quit talking again. It sounds like there's going to be no counter proposal now.
No,
they're getting a mediator.
But
that's not going to help that much.
Have the players agreed to a mediator?
Not yet, but yeah, they got to agree to it still.
I would think the players have always done pretty well in mediation. I don't know why they wouldn't go for it.
I'm not sure it's going to work.
They might. The association might not be as smart as they were when they had Marvin.
Yes,
because if Marvin could get in the room with if a federal mediator and the other guy on the other side was John Gaharan, it was a mismatch. It was a mismatch. The baseball would send some doofus in there to argue with Marvin, and the guy, Marvin was the smartest guy in America. So, it's not. I in fact, I had a satire headlines on coming up in the. We have decided what our short headline is for the Commanders.
Okay.
The Guardians is easy. Just the guards, right? The guards.
Right.
But the commies, we've decided. Lori.
Oh yeah, that's coming.
Actually sent this to me. The commies. So, but I put in there headlines that are upcoming. Guards win season opener June 5th, 2022. So yeah, it's I told you Wicker's stat, and I think I've seen this other places. 48 of the top 50 network TV shows NFL games.
Yes.
And you're having a lockout here if they have a Monday night football game between the Boras Bears and the horrible Lions, they beat the the decisive game of the World Series by 8 points. But Manford, we're going to sit here and fight to the death for, whether we let somebody be a free agent at a certain point or not. Yeah, I don't know. I think here's another. I actually talking to Wicker about this yesterday. Analytics cannot ruin football because the game is, you cannot.
Yep.
You cannot impact the game to the point that analytics has ruined baseball.
Yeah.
66 pitchers in 6 World Series games has ruined the baseball. The number of pitches, the complete devaluation of starting pitching, the length of games. It's
Great point.
Analytics has ruined baseball, and that's now my official stance. That's wonderful though we thought they were. They've killed it. So what do we do here? I don't know what I do. I did not watch the World Series in its entirety. A couple of times I flipped over and watched a show for an hour and came back and had missed an inning and a half, or 2 innings. And so now they're fighting and you know what's amazing, Judd? How often does it get mentioned in national that there's a baseball lockout going on? People don't even care. They don't know.
No.
We don't even know. You get it. You put a headline as negotiations have broken down again. It's on page 9, 2 graphs.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, 2 graphs. Yeah. No, it's sad.
Woofda. I don't know.
It's really sad.
I don't know what to say.
All right, sir. Talk to you for Unchained on Monday, okay?
We will do that.
Sounds good. Thanks, Pat.
When will we get our new coach? Maybe Tuesday. I'll have to stay in LA for the parade, right?
The Super Bowl is a week from Sunday, though.
We're still about 10, 11 days out.
So it's going to be the next week.
That's right. We got another week of this crap.
Next week,
whoever thought it was, that was a great time when the schedule was more compact and we didn't have the week between the playoff conference and the Super Bowl.
I agree with you. All right. Talk to you.
Yeah. Goodbye.